XCE Mountain Bike Eliminator World Cup from Barcelona in Spain. This is round 5 of 5 rounds with me, Emma Martin.
And me, Matt Payne.
The sun is shining, it's 28 degrees, the riders are warmed up and ready.
Yep.
It's going to be a great one. Matt, take us around the course.
It's a cracking course, it's an absolute classic XCE. We come out from the straight, we go underneath the finishing gantry immediately as we go through. Now we've got 2 full laps to complete in racing in the qualifying in the finals, and of course one in the time trial down the steps, landing midway, don't touch on the way down, and that tight left-hand bend which has gone around really critical to prove that in the qualifying and in the time trial. Over 2 tabletop jumps, quite high, about 1.2 meters high, and then a long sweeping right-hand bend. Lots of room here to overtake, but we've got to get the line right because we're going to go over the logs here. This log section, narrower, a little bit more difficult to get right and to get the key line, and then we come in to the steps now. Boarded, but only boarded at 3 meters. That means it's quite tight on the line. Last chance to go through and overtake as you come in past that start line, and then it's a sprint for the finishing line. And that distance is short, very difficult, but you can put in a sneak attack on the way into the line. So here we go. It looks like we are seeing our first riders just making the way in. And Emma, that was an absolutely cracking run around the course. It's going to be very, very exciting out there. And as we know, the time trials are always critical, aren't they?
Yeah, they are indeed. The time trial is critical indeed. And Tormena taking top spot from Fromberger in that time trial earlier on today. This is the lineup for the first of the women's quarterfinals we are seeing here in front of us.
And in that time trial, we saw an absolutely critical move by Tormena. She came here as the series leader overall. You can see on your screen she's got top spot there, but this Emma means we think, by our calculations, and this is subject to confirmation, she's going to take away the title, whatever happens, because we make it she's 62 points clear at the top from Fromberger. Fromberger coming in second place. No matter what Fromberger does, she's not going to be able to make her way in.
Well, indeed, and Tormena, this is not going to stop her racing today. So that first quarterfinal, Tormena, Closier, Van Diest and Borrelli going in Heat 1. So Heat 1 lining up and ready to go. This is the lineup: Tormena, Van Diest, Closier and Borrelli. Borrelli, the French rider, on the far side of the screen. We are looking at the lineup here, ready to go.
So here we go. It is the very first of the quarterfinals. 1 of 4. We're good to go. Who will it be? Will it be the world champion? The 15 seconds to go. Board is across in front. The riders now primed. This start is key. Long straight as we saw on that course preview. And look at this now. Tormena taking it easy, just dropped into the final position there. And that has allowed Closier to come through. Up on to the front. It's Closier at the moment leading. Van Diest just pressuring with those dark black shoulders on the outside, and we're just seeing a gap opening up behind him. Van Diest has gone through on Tormena as well as on Borrelli. I think there we're just going to take a double check as they come up in around this turn, but it looks to me like Colleen Closier at the moment is the rider who's leading this out, so it is going to be Closier at the moment from Borrelli. It looks like the gaps have really stretched out here, so at the moment Van Diest trying to come back. This is the end of lap number 1 now. Closier had a great start there. Where are they going to leave this? Can they leave this any later? It's going to be very, very close. Closier, Van Diest, Tormena and Borrelli in that order through like smoothly down the steps. Tight left, and it's going to be close. Tormena making a move, I think, there as she came down around that left-hand turn. Van Diest ran wide. 2 riders through to our semi-finals. 2 riders eliminated. And this is that push now. Van Diest has got to come back on. And I'll tell you something, the world champion didn't panic there as she came around that first lap in 4th place. Takes a look on the left side of the former world champion Closier. Now moves to the right-hand side up on the right side, carrying pace up there. And it's not up. He's coming. He's on the inside. Who's going to get the run out from here? Closier in a sprint. She's going to go through with a Tormena. So top Closier through. It's going to be Van Diest along with Borrelli, who are out of the race for today.
Wow, and Van Diest going out there, Matt, that is absolutely crucial. She was in 3rd place overall in the series going into that race. So amazing she's not qualified. Now, Tormena, she did not have the normal fast start there, but she held it together, and it all came together on those steps on that first lap. Closure went down the steps on the 2nd lap, but Tormena then took on that left corner. That was a fantastic heat number 1. They are lining up for heat number 2. Matos, De Vries, Koch and Simoes lining up for heat number 2.
So they're going to be our riders who are going to be heading out onto the course here, Emma. And as the sun beats down, it's really warm, isn't it, today? About 28 degrees. And that means we've got lots of friction. It's not wet, it's not slippery. There's no condensation like we can see on some of the other rounds. And we've seen some great action throughout the series, haven't we? So Matos, De Vries, Koch and Simoes. We know Matos. I mean, she's a round winner previously. Just coming back. De Vries, she's got a lot here to play for. She's got to want to be right up there. So here we go, 15-second board goes across. Who's going to get the fast start? Here the whistle goes. Remember those riders going sometime in that 15-second window. At the moment it's Didi De Vries who's got the lead with the red, white and blue of the Netherlands champion, just dropping down. She's got Matos right behind though. And it looks like Marcela Matos are really back on to form now. She's got to keep the power down here. Remember, 2 through, so that battle between 2nd and 3rd is critical. Get away cleanly in front. You think you've got a clean run, but we have seen time and time again here in Barcelona problems where people relax just that little bit too much and you can charge from behind if you keep focused. But at the moment, the front 2 just start to pull away to go at the moment. Julik Stepp's going to come in with a little bit of a gap here. We're going to try and get that time gap as they come in and through. 2 leaders. It's De Vries and Matos. They are going through at the moment, clear by 3 seconds on the line. That should be enough to put Simoes and Koch into trouble. But remember, this is, of course, mountain biking. This is City Mountain Bikes XCE Eliminator for the UCI, and anything can happen on the way round. We have seen riders take each other out, and in fact, we've seen the riders who were in 3rd place come through to qualify in 1st place. It is more than possible, particularly when things get tight. Now, these 2 riders look to be just easing off. The riders saving energy here as they go side by side. Big look over the shoulder there by De Vries, and you can see the pressure is well and truly off. Now it's about trying to spin out that lactic acid as they come in and through. So that is going to be Matos and De Vries through. Koch and Simoes are going to be out of the running for today.
Well, I tell you something, De Vries needs to save all the energy she can, with Van Diest not qualifying through to the finals today, because she's going to need that later. So De Vries and Matos, those 2 leaders, clear with 3 seconds at the end of that first lap going through. Now, heat number 3, Vargos, Fromberger, Sadnik and Schrotzenberger lined up and ready to go.
So here we go, 15 seconds to go. Board goes across. The rider's going sometime in the next 15 seconds on the sound of the whistle. Here we go, the whistle goes. This is about getting that clean kick out from the line. You've got to be quick here now. Fromberger's the rider with it all to do in terms of wanting to take away the win, taking away the UCI points as well as that prize money. But they are 4 coming down those steps. There's not a lot of room. Get this wrong, you're going for a quick bath into the fountain. And at the moment, you can just see the battle for 2nd, 3rd and 4th. He's still incredibly close. Fromberger, though, starting to power away, clearly recovered from that coming together with the cobbles in Ireland. And, of course, Ireland is going to be where we're going to be heading up for the World Championships in the 2024 season. 2023, we're in Blancaraya. It's going to be exciting to see what Fromberger can do on a home turf as well as at Blancaraya. But at the moment, she's leading out this. This is the 3rd of our quarterfinals at the moment. Fromberger, from Schrotzenberger, from Sadnik, from Vargas as they come through the line this time round. And the battle is going to be Schrotzenberger and Sadnik. Schrotzenberger in the blue and black, just coming in shot with a white helmet. Then in the black with the black helmet, That is Sadnik, and it's not all over yet between second and third place. Big charge now coming from Sadnik. She's carrying momentum on the inside, comes up on the right shoulder. Has she gone through? She has. She's taken away that qualifying spot at the moment, and now Schwarzenberger's got to pull out a move onto the steps. Has she got anything left? That was a great move by Sadnik. The momentum carries all the way up Fromberger's wheel. Can she put in a cheeky win here? Fromberger's not having any of that. After being in second position for so long, Schwarzenberger is out. Sadnik through with Fromberger.
Well, that was absolute class from Fromberger today, but that move from Sadnik coming through with the momentum there, taking Schwarzenberger out. Absolutely fantastic riding. Okay, so we're heading to the start line now for heat number 4. Taking a look here, Abrahamson, Lita, Boissier and Giorgio are all getting the 15-second count.
So here we go. This is about getting that start. A move over there. Wanted to get pushed across. You can just see Lita there just wanting that quick push across to the side there to get a better start. But this start is so critical if you want to be in the running, unless maybe you're Gaia Tormena, who managed to move her way up and through from 4th into 1st. But at the moment, it certainly looks to me like the Brazilian has got this race lead at the moment. Bramerson looking to close down the gap, but she's got work to do at the moment. She's behind Laura Lead at the moment as well as Bramerson, and they are changing place here. Madison Boissier at the moment in 4th place is not out of touch either, so the Frenchwoman are very close as well. Giorgio of Cyprus nicely tucked in there. We're going to see who's going to go through in contention. Well, it's pretty much anybody's race to go through and qualify. It's about holding position now. Giorgio of Cyprus nicely holding position, holding off the chase behind. You can just see a little bit of a move being put onto her, and it's not stuck. So here we go. This is the run. This is where we saw that big move by Sadnik last around on the right-hand side. Carry momentum now. Kick down hard enough, and you can make a move. At the moment, though, it looks to me like Brazil are going to get another rider in to those semi-finals. But at the moment, behind that fight is on for second and third. Who's got the momentum? Who's got the pace coming up here? Into that last right-hand kick. I think we've got a slight overgearing there by Abrahamson as they came up. You don't think she had the power of the pace to get up onto the wheels at all. Boissier didn't have the power. She was overgeared, and it's Giorgio and Lee who go through.
Well, I tell you something, that is absolutely sorting it all out at the moment, and it really was that second lap that paid off there. But Abrahamson not qualifying, another one of our riders. She was indeed in 5th place in the overall going into that. So all change in the women's from the quarterfinals, and you can see the qualifiers in front of us making it through to the semis. Tormena, Clazier, Fromberger, Sadnik, Matos, De Vries, Leet and Giorgio.
Wow, really interesting. Big names up. That is going to change the women's racing and the standings below the top. But let's go on to the men's race here. And this is the men's quarterfinals. You can see the results from the 8th finals going through there. Some big names going out on the way through, and including Luc Tornilon out of contention.
Yeah, Klausman went out, but our rider in 28th place in the time trial this morning, qualifying, Edvin Lund.
So we're going to see what Lund can do. The riders lined up, Klemenchik, Berman, Seres, Nemec. Here we go, the whistle goes away from the race. This start, oh, big foot out there. Massive mistake by Nemec there. He goes up on the side of Klemenchik, the European champion. They're going to try and close this gap down. This is going to be incredibly tough. And another mistake, oh, chain off. Chain's come up, Seres, the number 1 rider in that time trial. That chain has come up. He's going to get him back on. He's not all up. He's an absolutely phenomenal rider. But this is a disaster. He's got it on. He's got the power going. He's handed it across. Massive drama as Seres' chain comes off. Look at the gap. He's got work to do. Klemenchik is trying to make the most of pace they're carrying. They're almost going straight across the landing there coming in. This is going to be so tough as they go through now. Taking that right-hand turn. Klemenchik leading them down as they come through. Nemec in second place after pulling his foot. Berman is right in there and says, with the work to do, he's now back onto the heels of the riders. Second, third, and fourth. They're back together again. Series is up to third place. Nemec is now dropped down out on that tight left-hand turn. Klemenchik is in there. And look at Series go. He's like an intercept missile heading after his prey. Is he going to take him on the bend? He is. He's gone down the side. Oh, he pushes him wide coming in. Series from first to fourth to second. Can he go back up over Klemenchik? The adrenaline is flowing faster than the water in the fountain. Look at that. What a ride.
Well, I'll tell you something. He seriously needed that because the time trial on my estimation put him up to fourth overall in the World Cup standings, and that chain coming off was absolutely crucial because he could compete for at least third place today. So from first place to fourth, back up to second, and that's what important is because that means he qualifies to progress.
And he's got to make it through. We were doing some quick maths before the start here. He really has to keep on pushing, doesn't he, to get right up there. Wow, what a race. And he's going to carry on. Look at this.
He is, and this is heat number 2. Schwarzenberger, Perrin Gagné, Hammerly and Lind.
Okay, so Lind at the slowest of qualifiers coming in to the finals. However, making it through the 8th finals and into the quarterfinals. Away we go. The world champion who took his title here in Barcelona wants to lead this out. He's throwing that bike so far sideways. He's almost gone to the left-hand barrier. He's carrying big pace out and down onto the steps now. This is where the chain has come off for Series because that bouncing down is very easy to get that coming out. You can see the pace coming over. What the riders want to do, they want to get on the down slope. They don't want to over jump and land too far down. They want to use the momentum, but going too fast, you're going to go too far over there. At the moment, though, it is the world champion. It's Perrin Gagné who is leading out heat number 2 of our quarterfinals. He's got the front of the race, but they are pressuring behind. Here we go. 1 lap done, 1 to go. Now look at this, right on his heels at the moment, Edwin Lind. I don't know what happened in that time trial. He was in the last gas saloon. He literally scraped through by the skin of his teeth coming in and through. He had a problem coming through 18 seconds down on Series, and he's showing that that problem was going to put him in trouble for the 8th, but not as he goes through to the quarters, because here he is. He's holding that position, but he has got Schwarzenberger, a man who we know is not afraid to make a move. Here comes Schwarzenberger on his left side. He's going to come round him. Oh, he's squeezing wide, and he's in the barriers, and they're both down. Now this is about who can get back on quick. It's Schwarzenberger sprinting. They're both going to be pit though because the man in fourth place is going to take it. And that was all about that corner. Well, Schwarzenberger, a man who's been known to dive through the turns, doesn't make it. He cut across the front of Lind. Lind went down as well. Carnage on the final corner.
Absolutely, and take a look at that. Do you know, it's just a reminder that your race is not over until you cross the line, because Hammerly, he thought he was well and truly out of that, and that battle for second and third, well, that last corner was just disastrous. So, heat number 3 is Riker, Gegenheimer, Mingurance and Fierro.
Here we go. Who's going to have this? Watch out for Gegenheimer, the former world champion, prior to Perrin Gagné taking that off him. Rika's got a quick start. Eric Fiery Fierro's known for his moves on his way through, but look at this. You can see it's the 2 riders in black on the inside. Gegenheimer's going to lead them around that right-hand turn. Fierro really trying to push in with that group as they come around that turn, but this is very tight already. Now, you can see everybody wants to be right up there, holding position, being in the front. It's almost leaving you at a big disadvantage because you can't see what's happening. And it's almost better to almost be second or third place, but nobody wants to give away distance. A constant mind game going on between all of these riders, and all 4 are in contention here. Massive dive on the right-hand side there. You could just see there that Rika could come up, he could push on through. He gets himself into position as they come through that time round. This is going to be so interesting. Gegenheimer, Rika, then it's going to be Mignorance Ferrandis, then it's going to be Fierro coming through. Oh, big slide out on the way down, big problems to come over the jump. It leaves us with the 3 riders left. That so looks like that move, the pressure going on Massive slide out between the two tabletop jumps, and now the move's being made now. Rika being pushed back down again, but carrying the momentum around the right-hand side is critical. Will they keep it rubber set? Use every millimetre of the top, and look at that. Massive frustration from Rika as we see Migrants go through with Gegenheimer.
Well, Migrants Fernandez going through with Gegenheimer there, taking Rika out at that last moment, and that momentum through those steps, absolutely key. And I tell you something, this is really winding itself up now for an amazing overall. So, next heat, Roker, Hauser, Messi and Mayer will be the next 4 riders in the final heat of the quarters.
And you just see the just scooting along. It's almost like a strider bike here. He's got no drive left on the bike. You got to feel really sorry for Eric Fierro, a rider who we know, not afraid to move. He came down really heavy, got that landing wrong. He slid across sideways, and looks like he's back up in one piece. He's going to run up to the top here, to the applause of the crowd, and quite rightly so, because picking yourself back up after a slide off on something as solid as the ground here really is telling he's going to make his way around. He's going to run round to the line here. He wants to finish his race. Fantastic to see the rider from Ecuador come across the line, but it is race done for him. And it means that we will be moving on to our next for the last 4 riders. Sandra Rock, Theo Hauser, Josef Messi, and it's going to be Stefan Mayer here. Now, Rocker is on blistering form. He is all rock and roll. We'll see whether or not he's going to get a number 1 today as they come up and through. Here we go. Whistle goes. Away go the riders. Rock on the inside here, but he's not got the fastest start. Is he going to be able to hold the line on the inside? Just about. Oh, he pushes up on the side. He's held second place. He's pressurized in first place. That's Josef Messi. So Messi in the blue and black being pressurized by Rock with those white sleeves. Immediately behind them, Hauser and Mayer are both pushing at the moment. It's Hauser who's got over the top there. So it's Hauser who goes over the top of Messi. He's now pressurizing Rock in first place. Has to ease off those pedals. It looked like he's going to get the door shut on him. The 2 leaders go up to the top of the climb of those steps together. And now Hauser is the one who's got the impetus. He's got the drive. He's got the lead. And Rock now in that perilous seat in second chair with the riders behind pressurizing him. And at the moment, it looks to me like Hauser has got a little bit of a gap. But remember, as you come together on those final steps, it's going to get really tight. Behind, there is a bit of a battle developing between 3rd and 4th. That's Messi and Mayer. And that means that it could well be that they focus too much on each other and not closing down the 2 in front. 2 riders through. The 2 currently in prime spot to do that. Hauser with the yellow helmet, yellow bike, blue forks, blue shoes, goes over up the steps first. Then it's going to be Roker of Norway immediately behind him. Then it's going to be Mayer. And it looks like they have got the beating of Messi. So Hauser and Rock go through fist bump as they go over the line.
Yeah, well, they do indeed. So Messi and Rocker go through. And, well, Hauser could indeed be one of the riders benefiting if he can put in a strong performance for the rest of today, because we've got 4 of the top 8 in the overall World Cup standings currently not progressing to the semi-finals in the men's race, but those progressing: Klemnik, Ceres, Gegenheimer, Mingerantz, Perrin Gagne, Hameley, Hauser and Rocker from that last heat progressing through to the semi-finals. Wow. What can you say? Let's take a move back to the women, and it is the women's semi-finals up next. So the first heat, Tormena de Vries, Matos and Closure. Heat 2 is going to be Fromberger, Lita, Sadnik and Giorgio.
Going to be a very close set of semi-finals. Here we go. Former world champ, current world champ, De Vries and Matos also in there as well. Away they go. This is the first of the semi-finals. 2 through. 2 are going to be heading into the minor final. Tormena, she's not going off in 4th place now. She's straight up into 1st place here, back where she wanted to be. She usually prefers to lead from the front. She's enjoyed a week in Spain so far. She should have the series wrapped up, but she'll want to walk away with the top prize here today and maximum points in the series as she comes round. Closure is in 2nd place, and it leaves Matos and De Vries in that order to chase the rider in second position. That is Closure, the former world champion. So, current world champion leading, the former world champion in the red, being pressured by Matos. Matos, who took that fantastic win in Abu Dhabi last season, not this. She is looking to continue to push forward and progress within the XCE, within the Eliminator. She's up into second place. She will want to move up and through those standings. And of the riders here, the big loser seems to me to be De Vries. Didi De Vries, a rider who came into this weekend in 5th position. She moved up to 4th place after the time trial. I think she's going to be dropping back down again because she will not make the final, which she stays in 4th position, which is where she is at the moment. So, Tormena over the logs, followed by Matos, followed by Closure. Then it is De Vries in 4th wheel at the moment. And I'll tell you something, Guy Tormena's pulled something out. I'm not sure what happened in the previous round, but all of a sudden Tormena has shown, do you know what, when I need it, I've got the gas, it's in there. And that was her win, clearly, from Matos. Closure, the former world champion, out of the run. She'll be in the minor final, along with Didi De Vries.
Well, I think that's just Tormena showing the rest of the field that she can do it anyway. She can do it from the front of the field. She can do it from P4. And this is the second semi-final. We've got Lita, Sadnik, Fromberger and Giorgio all lined up and ready to go. Which ones of these are going to make the big final?
Well, here we go. The 15-second board goes across the face of the lineup here. This should be incredibly close indeed between these riders. Fromberger, the favourite, leading this out in the German colour set. And big problems there for Lita, who goes in. I think that was a tangle with another rider on the way through that caused it to come unclipped. If you come in and you don't want to be hitting the deck sideways, you're going to have to recover, get clipped back in. At the moment, that only leaves us 3 riders in contention for those 2 spots. Fromberger, who is leading at the moment, and Sadnik is pushing very, very hard at the moment to stay in contention and well clear. I'm the rider from Cyprus, and that is going to be Giorgio. So here we go, up over the top. This is going to be pretty smooth. Come round here. Fromberger looking in control. Now, how much effort does she put in here? Remember, she's got to go through into the final. If you're not in the main final, you go to the minor final for positions 5 to 8. At the moment, it's Giorgio and Lita who are looking like they're going to be there. Fromberger at the moment looking good with Sadnik. It's a 3-second gap on the line at the end of lap 1. We're going to see where they're going to be at the end of lap number 2, but it's looking secure for these 2 riders. And Sadnik's going, do you know what? I'm going to take a win and wins the win too, right? Now, here we go. Sadnik in there now. Fromberger won't want to get mixed up in here. And is this the wise move by Fromberger? Saving the energy. Sadnik is going to go over the top. She's going to make her way in to the finals as the winner of her semi-final. Clear air between her and Marion Fromberger in second. And that means they will be our qualifiers as they go through the rest of the race field, going into the minor final.
Well, Fromberger taking it a little bit easy there once she'd ensured qualification for that big final, reserving as much energy as possible to go head-to-head with the domination that was Tormena in her semi-final heat. I think that is going to line itself up for a great fight in that big final later, Matt.
I think it is, and you can see our qualifiers through to the main final. Tormena, Matos, Sadnik, Fromberger, and of the rest, I think that's going to be a fantastic battle. Didi De Vries needs maximum points to stay up there in the standings. She will want maximum points to be right up there. She'll also want to win that minor final, but she's got some tough riding, and we saw Lee on form. Sure, she's doing a standout ride there. The men have got a lot to live up to here. So, the men's semi-finals. Ceres Perrin-Gagne, Klemenchik, Hamel, Roca, Hauser, Gegenheimer, and Marek-Durance. You can see split into the 2 semi-finals. Not sure which is the hardest out of these 2, Emma. I'm not sure I'd want to be up against any of these riders when it came to this course.
No, well, I think the way these riders are riding at the moment, either of these could have been the final. So Klemenchik, Perrin-Gagne, Ceres and Hammerly all lining up at the start with that 15-second board.
So here we go. First of the men's semi-finals are away. Big kick from Perrin-Gagne, trying to get the whole shot. He gets the elbow out there in front of Klemenchik in the European Champions jersey. It pushes Ceres wide. Ceres, remember, of course, having a problem, dropping the chain. getting back up now. Has he managed to keep it in the drive? He has got the drive in. Now it's going to make his life a lot easier this time round. He must have expended a lot of energy having to work his way back up from 4th into 2nd place in his quarterfinals. And you can see Ceres is really pushing against Perrin Gagne here. But look at Klemenchik on the right-hand side. Absolutely flew up there. I'm not sure how many of those step goals he touched on the way through. Not many as they come up now. This is not going to be an easy ride for anybody at the moment. At the back of this group, Hermel looking very much like he's out of the running unless he put out a surprise move later. The gap has opened up 2 spots to go through, 2 spots to go into the minor final, and it could be any one of the 3 leaders coming around here. But remember, we have seen issues. We've seen riders take each other out on the way through. The world champs looking to keep this clean. He goes up over the top. Ceres on the left-hand side, and it looks to me like that is going to be game over for the European champion. It's going to be game over for Jakob Klemenchik. Hamel not in the running there. Perrin Gagne and Ceres through.
Well, I think Klemenchik knew he didn't have the power in the legs today to take them on for the 1st or 2nd place, and Perrin Gagne and Lorenzo Ceres are absolutely on form. Now, lining up for semi-final number 2, it's Gegenheimer, Rockhauser and Mignorance all getting the 15-second board. This is going to be another good race.
So our second of our 2 semi-finals, Gegenheimer, the former world champion, the man in black on the left, up against the young pretender, up against Roca. But can he take on Hauser? Then Mignorance Fernandez, who also came through so strongly in his quarter-final, is the man in black, goes down. Hauser gets bounced right out to the barriers there. Quickly recovers, comes back into 2nd place. Roca, he's having to move himself out and around, and I think Hauser went sideways as fast as he went forwards there. Now over the first tabletop cleanly, over the second tabletop cleanly, we're just starting to see, I think we're just seeing the gap opening up here behind, and I think there's a problem for Roca here. So Roca has lost a drive, I think, because he didn't see him come down. He had problems. He's now out of the running here. So come up over the steps. It's going to be Gegenheimer along with Mignorance Fernandez and Hauser. So at the moment, Gegenheimer leading. He's the rider in 1st place in the black. Then it's the red and yellow of the rider from Spain on home turf. It's Alberto Mignorance Fernandez sitting in 2nd position. Theo Hauser of Austria in 3rd place. But do not discount Hauser. He's got a monument. Oh, to the left-hand side. Not sure what went wrong. That looked like that was a mechanical issue there. Sideways he went. He's gone straight into the barriers there. The rider from Spain. Not sure what happened. Might have been a slip on the handlebar as he pulled on there. But the 2 riders look at each other. They know they're through. I think they're left wondering what happened. How that left it wide open for Hauser. He's not sure how he got in and through there. And he's just saying, yeah, he's just gone flying off to the side. So we're just going to see. Hopefully he's all right. Never good to come down in a race. Never good to come down in a home race. And our medics will be down with him very shortly, I'm sure. It's a great organising team down. Emma, ride by Gegenheimer, pulling it out when he needed it. Hauser showed why you never ever give up. You always want to stay in there, and Roca is going to come through for 3rd.
Well, we've said that earlier on, didn't we, where 4th place took 2nd right on the line with the issues between 2nd and 3rd going on the final corner. You know, Roca having the mechanical there very early in the race and taking him out of contention, and he must have been one for, for the top 3 today. As we take a look here, and you're right,
it looked like he hit something on the road, on the surface there, on the left side. It looked like the wheel just dipped away from him almost.
Is that, or did he miss a pedal? Did he come unclipped?
And clipped the front wheel with his foot.
Exactly.
So hard to tell.
So very, very difficult to tell from that shot. But at least he is looking okay. So through to the big finals, Perrin Gagne and Ceres, Gegenheimer and Hauser. The other 4 riders will compete in the minor final later today.
So coming up, you're going to have our women's minor final, then it'll be the men's minor final. Then we will have the main final for the women, and then the main final for the men. In that order, some amazing races so far, some full of incident. You can see our lineup. here are our riders that are going to go through. So the minor final will be De Vries, Closure and Giorgio, Roca, Klemenchik and Hamel. You've had maybe a little bit of a chance to have a think here, Emma, I'm hoping so, about who is your pick here in terms of the minor finals. I'm going to actually go for Closure because I think that being the former champion is always good.
Well, I think Closure is always fantastic on lap 1, and I think it really depends on how much of a distance she can possibly put in, because De Vries has it all to lose.
And what about in the men?
Well, in the men, I think it's... well, Roca has it to lose, doesn't he, because he has been such on form. But, well, it's going to be an interesting race.
It is. He's got to keep that bike together, hasn't he? And we've seen that. One of the key things, I mean, we saw it when we were in Turkey, in Sakarya. We were seeing Sakarya, we've seen the riders go over, dropping down the logs. We saw chains coming off. You know, even really experienced riders having problems in that. And holding the bike together is part of that.
Well, it is indeed. And, you know, that men's main final is going to be absolutely key, because Ceres will go in fourth. But actually, if he wins and Perrin Gagne doesn't finish, it could all change. So, talking about the minor finals, Closure, De Vries and Giorgio all lined up now and ready to go in the women's minor final.
And they were expecting a longer hold, I think, a short hold on there. It's been a longer hold. That's all part of being a bike rider, knowing how to deal with any issues, with delays. So the riders lined up, they're ready to go. They are looking very, very composed. Didi De Vries just having to do a little bit of a lean there. She gets that 15-second board. Here we go. This is for positions 5, 6, and 7. The whistle goes. Away they go. Closure getting a fast stop. But will she live up to Emma's fast on lap 1? Not so good on lap 2. Didi De Vries right on her heels, though. The tyres almost rubbing as it came round that turn. And you can just see her dropping down into the left-hand turn. It's slightly wider than it has been in some of the previous years, just carrying a bit more pace. It means the riders are carrying speed up and through. Now onto this long, sweeping right-hand turn here as they come in and around. So you can see at the moment, it is Closure leading over the logs as they come through on lap 1. Didi De Vries in second place, red, white and blue. Of De Vries, really pressuring from the Netherlands, moves up on the right-hand side, overtakes, comes in. She's going to come through at the end of this lap in the lead just. And this means that she's looking to maximise points. She needs to get big point score here. She will want to take away the win. Remember, this is for the points in the series overall. The prizes in the series run from 1st to 15th, but the big prizes are all up at the top of the series standings in the classification overall of the 5 rounds. And at the moment, De Vries is doing everything she can. She's opened the gap on Closure a little bit more here, so it's going to Emma's predictions so far. We're going to see if it's going to hold. It's going to take a major problem now for De Vries, who looks over her shoulder here in Barcelona. She makes the right-hand turn. It's going to be De Vries, the winner of the minor final. She'll take 5th place overall. It's going to be Colleen Closure taking 6th, and it will be a 7th place, a great 7th place, and a minor final appearance for Constantina Giorgio of Cyprus.
Well, Closure did what she does well, and she went straight out of that start pen into the lead and nearly held it for the entirety of that first lap. De Vries coming up on her right towards the end of lap 1 and taking the win in that small final. Now down to the small final of the men. It's Roca, Klemenchik and Hammerly, and they have the 15-second board already.
So here we go, the whistle goes off, go the riders. Roca in the right-hand side for the riders are down side. Elbow to elbow, he pops himself up in front of Klemenchik. Klemenchik goes sweeping with pace on the right-hand side, overlapping the wheels on that descent down, just eases off a little bit to give himself the room to run in to the tabletop. So over the first, over the second, taking a wider line round them, and that means that he can tighten back up again as they come in to the long right into the logs. At the moment, though, it looks like Roca really does want to make amends for not being in the main final. Carrying plenty of place up there. Oh, massive land from Klemenchik. He cleared the landing. He went basically, that's like landing to an upslope on the second of the steps. You heard the smack of the bike on the boards. tell you something, if there's any suspension in there, it's going to need servicing after this. He hit that with an almighty crash. And it shows you how much pace he was carrying in there. Well, it looks like Rocker's got the measure of the course. The dives to the right. He's got the shortest route. Really is pushing, keeping that corner. He's got to have plenty of confidence in those tyres. He's got the line down now. Up he comes. He should be able to cleanly come through to take away a win in the minor final. It is going to be Sondra Rocker who's going to come through. He takes away the win in the minor final. So fifth place, and he shakes his head, I think, for what could have been, because he is the winner of the minor final, but he will not be in the main final, followed by Klemenchik, the rider who's going to be in sixth, and Hamel, who will be our seventh place rider. Wow. Great minor finals, and that's just the starter, if you like, for the main course, which is our main finals.
It is indeed, and Rocker there, you know what could have happened. But what can happen now, this is the women's big final. Matos, Tormena, Sadnik and Fromberger. This should be an absolute cracker. They are waiting in the starting pen at the moment.
They're waiting for that 15-second to go board. Let's have a good look at our riders. Matos looking focused there. She's the rider who beat the world champion Gaia Tormena in round one a couple of years ago. Then, as you can see, as we move across, we've got Sadnik, who's made the final alongside Fromberger. Sadnik could be, well and truly, the dark horse in that all-black outfit. Here we go. The main finals for the women's in the very final round of the 2023 UCI XCE Eliminator. And off from the start, about getting into the corner. Fromberger carrying pace on the outside. He's going to come diving in, almost taken out by Matos. She held her nerve, held the second place with Tormena leading them down there. Tormena really cranking that bike over on that left-hand turn. It's Tormena in one. He's going to be Fromberger in two at the moment. There's going to be Matos in three, but she's being pressurized by Sadnik at the moment. Sadnik in fourth place in this final. And the two big favourites, the riders who are 1 and 2 in the series overall. Those positions are confirmed. They're fighting for pride. They're fighting for the fact that they are born racers, and they're showing us just what it means. And Fromberger, I don't know whether that's gritted teeth or a grin coming round. She knows she's in the hunt for the win here. Now Tormena has to hold this together. They've had a great week here in Spain, out and riding the trails, the track. They're now showing what they do best, racing in the XCE, and this is going to be a clean run to the finish, I think, for our leading two. I don't want to strike with the commentator's curse, but these two know what they're doing. They've raced so many times before. Here in Barcelona, where Gaia Tormena took a World Championship win last year, she's going to seal the win on the series with a win. It is Gaia Tormena. She's going to be your winner here today and of the World Series, and Fromberg taking second place and sealing that second place in the series overall. Great ride by Sadnik to come through to take third place, and good to see a resurgent Marcela Lima Matos as well. Let's take another look at this.
Well, it really was Tormena pushing out, and look at Fromberger lean into that first right-hand corner. It was neck and neck on lap one with these two, and we knew it was going to be a good final lap, Matt.
We did, and that corner was so critical, and I'm not sure Matos didn't just lose that corner because she was so close, not to Fromberger, but actually to Gaia Tormena, that you can see Tormena's celebration, and with a good reason.
Well, I'll tell you something, Fromberger never gave up, and the look on her face, she was absolutely determined. Now you're right, Sadnik coming through for third, absolutely brilliant. Marcela Lima Matos coming through in fourth position. As you said, great to see her coming back into form. She took third in the standings in 2022 in the World Cup. Great to see her coming back.
Yeah, great ride in the race there. Brilliant to see her come in and through. So the women's final going to the form book to a large degree in terms of first and second place there. Over to the men's final.
Yeah, it is indeed. And we head over to the men's final, and you can see them just putting in the finishing touches, making sure they are feeling good and ready to go. Now, we've got Lorenzo Ceres. Titouan Perrin-Gagné, Theo Hauser, and Simon Gegenheimer lining up on the start there. You know, this is not just for the World Cup today in Barcelona. This is for the series overall. They're getting the 15-second count. Gegenheimer, Perrin-Gagné, Serres and Hauser lined up and ready to go.
So they came in with 27 points separating them. There is 20 points from first to second place here today. Serres is going to want to be in that mix. Perrin-Gagné has to get the elbows out and run wide to push Serres back. That's like Hauser's come up. Gegenheimer having a relatively clean run, but Perrin-Gagné right on his wheel. So in the black, Gegenheimer leading. Then the World Champion stripes of Perrin-Gagné in 2. Then it is going to be Serres in the French national champs jersey coming through in 3. Then it's Hauser in 4, and Hauser is picking up some pace coming in here. Serres is going to do the charge on the right-hand side of the riders. Again, he pushes at Perrin-Gagné, but Perrin-Gagné has... Oh, he's down! He's down! The World Champion comes down. He's left the door wide open for Gegenheimer, and this could change the outcome of the World Championships here today. Perrin-Gagné was flying. He had the lead in the series. He's down in 4th place. The points calculations, we're going to rip our notes up and throw them out the studio window now, because Gegenheimer's got the lead. Perrin-Gagné is out of the picture, and behind Serres along with Hauser are looking to make the most of this. This is going to be critical. Now can they come round the side of Gegenheimer? He's got too much speed, too much pace. Gegenheimer takes the win. I think it's going to give him the series. I'm going to have to await confirmation. Lorenzo Serres in 2nd, Hauser in 3rd place. Gegenheimer's win will be tinged with a little bit of concern, and that is because Titouan Perrin-Gagné is his teammate. He's back up on the bike now. The world champion took his win here. What a contrast from taking the win in the World Championships and all that elation. Don't forget, do have a watch bike. I mean, it's such a happy man as he came in through to take that win. Not to be today. Let's take a look at this back now. From the start, you could see that between Serres and Perrin-Gagné, they were very, very close all the way round. It was in corner 1 as it came through here. Serres again pressurising the man in the rainbow stripes, but that was a clean fall. Clean in the sense nobody involved them, it just lost it with too much pace.
Yeah, it was indeed, and it really was just the momentum coming around the corner and the heat of the battle, shall we say. Same corner that we had the issue with Lindt and Schwarzenberger in the quarter-finals. We knew it was a difficult corner, and the heat of the race there absolutely creating a problem for Perrin-Gagné. Now, my maths tells me that Gegenheimer may well have taken the overall World Cup standings from Perrin-Gagné by 10 points with that win, which is interesting because last year in 2022, Gegenheimer took the win in the World Cup. Perrin-Gagné took the win in the World Championships.
Well, we will see who it's going to be. Those standings will be calculated. Our racer referees, our commissaries will be checking that out. And we're going to try and grab a word with our riders as well. And who better, I think, to start with than, of course, the rider who took the win here today and took with it the title of the series as she came through in the time trial. It is Gaia Tomena.
Third win of the season in the UCI World Cup. Today it seems like vintage Gaia again.
Thank you very much. Today started quite bad, but then I could do a good quarterfinal. I lost my pedal, but I could make it to the semi-final. The semi-final was more easy, and in the final I just want to give it all one more time for this season. And yeah, to win here in Barcelona is always great. It is the 4th time here. And so, thank you very much to all the organizers and to everyone who was there cheering.
It has been a great UCI World Cup season again for you, with 3 wins in it.
Yes, I'm happy. It was not as the previous years. It was much more difficult because the level of the girl racing is growing. But I'm very, very happy. And this overall makes me feel very happy and proud about my work. And it will be on the highlights of the season for sure.
Like you said, it has been a thrilling season. Marion has been a very tough opponent in every race. Seems like it will be an exciting UCI World Championships in Palancaraya.
I think it will. And then I'm looking forward also to the new ladies. I don't know. Because, you know, when I started, it was my first time in the Eliminator circuit and I was already doing great. So, yes, I cannot expect anything from the World Championship. It is so unpredictable. And, yeah, for sure I will give my best. But this World Cup already makes my season. So I'm already happy about this.
Congratulations. Enjoy.
So fabulous to hear from Gaia Tormena there, taking the win today, and indeed it looks like the World Cup standings as well.
Well, it's going to be really interesting to see those standings below our top two, below Fromberger and Gaia Tormena. Really looking forward to that. I know Emma's been doing some maths in the corner of the studio, and here we go now. Let's have a look. Diddy de Vries has indeed gone up, and she's into that fourth place. Van Van Diest in third. Brammerson, Schrotzenberg, Closure all in the mix. Good to see Alina Samoys in there. Lee Shrevers rounding out the top 10, but a win for Gaia Tormena. And what a win for her in the World Cup standings. Now, this is, of course, subject to confirmation by our commissaire, our race teams, and our race referees, but it looks pretty secure to me.
Well, it does indeed, and we head into the flower ceremony for today.
So you can see our top three riders here are up and ready for the traditional flower ceremony. So first to get the flowers is a rider who put in an amazing ride to take away third place here today. That's Katharina Sadnik. Second place going to Marion Fromberger, and top spot centre stage. It is the world champion Gaia Tormena, and great race. Great to see Sadnik right in that mix there, Emma.
Yeah, look at the smile on her face in third place. She could not be happier today. Fromberger and Tormena, well, that is a battle that is just going to keep on continuing.
It is, and I'm really looking forward to the World Championships as they came through. What a result. Now, the overall World Cup, the congratulations there from Christophe Brunel presenting Gaia with the number one in the World Series. And Gaia Tormena, a worthy winner on what must be like her second home with all of her wins here at Barcelona. A great result for her. She's going to be full of confidence going into Palancaraya. She was playing down her chances there, Emma. False modesty, I think.
Well, it was great to hear from Gaia Tormena. Absolutely dominant in some of those races today. And we will be heading, I think, to hear from Simon Gegenheimer shortly because, well, you know, he did indeed finish on that top step today.
He did indeed. Top step for Simon Gegenheimer, something he's used to. He's shared those honours with his teammate. We can hear from him, I think, any second now.
Ending the World Cup season on a high note.
Yeah, sure. It took a long time to win finally my first race this year. I think, except the Corona year, every season I won a race. So also this year, it's good. End of a World Cup season, but the biggest race we have still ahead, and it's good to raise the form towards the World Championships, and that's what I wanted, and so I'm really happy that we can see it in the result.
This must give you confidence for Palancaraya.
Yeah, for sure. Confidence for me, but also confidence for the team. Like Niels getting stronger and stronger every race. He finished second in qualification, did a strong race afterwards. This one for sure is the strongest competitor for several years now, and now we were the strongest today. So this pushed us really good for the final race, and also Marion second today, second overall. That's really good for the team.
It will probably be an exciting race in the Palancaraya with the level being so high.
The leveling is increasing every year. This year was really high. You make, especially on this course, you make one mistake or you are in third. It's almost no chance to overpace. One reason is the course, but the other reason is the level of the riders. It's really high. But now it's the World Cup, the World Championships. It's again different also for the mind, for the type of racing. You go all or nothing. So we'll see. Well, we have some exciting races.
Good luck in Palancaraya. Enjoy.
Well, Well, talking about the World Championships there and the strength and depth of the race field, I think that race from Palangkaraya in Indonesia on the 15th of October is going to be an absolutely cracking World Championships in both the men's and the women's race. But congratulations to Simon Gegenheimer for taking the win today in Barcelona. And I think we are very shortly going to head over to the men's flower ceremony.
So the flower ceremony, the traditional flower ceremony for our riders, three very worthy riders. Theo Hauser of Austria taking away third place. A second place to the rider from France, Lorenzo says, as well, of course, as the man who has taken centre stage in terms of today's race. That's Simon Gegenheimer, and as he says, it's going to be very interesting when they take the confidence as a team across to those World Championships in Palangkaraya, and that's going to be coming up on the 15th of October. Now, the two key titles everybody wants. They want to take away the World Cup, and it looks like, oh, it was close.
Well,
we thought it would
my
be.
maths wasn't quite right, but you know,
Oof.
It was still in the right order. So Gegenheimer looking as though taking the win in the preliminary World Cup standings. Tito and Perrin Gagne just 5 points behind. Lorenzo Serres moving up from what was around 6th going into this competition into 3rd. Fantastic performance from the Frenchman.
It is indeed. Schwarzenberger, Karlhoven, Hausmann, Klausmann, Rika, Ruck and Klemenchik further down those standings, and it's going to make for a very, very tight, very fast race where we move to those World Championships. And Simon Gegenheimer goes there as series winner, and he is going to be going in as now. You can just see the riders down there now. Very interesting, because we saw Gegenheimer up on the top there, but we got Perrin Gagne being presented with the trophy there. That's a very interesting result. We will see what they have to say.
A strange way to end the UCI World Cup today. What happened in the turn?
I lose my front wheel. It's totally my mistake. But my race was finished after the semi-final when I passed in final, because I know I secured the overall. It was the main goal today, really the main goal. I turned around so many times, and finally I did it.
Exactly, it's the first time you win the UCI World Cup overall title. What does it mean for you?
Yeah, it's mean a lot. It's mean a lot, and I want to say a big thank you to my new team. It's crazy. It's a big family, and they support me in the best way. And yes, I'm super happy to give to them the overall, and I'm focused now on the World Championship.
This must give confidence, the season you did, because it was a great season, you realized.
Yeah, it's a great season. I have some bad luck, especially in Oudenaarde with my crash in 8th final. Today, it's not bad luck, it's my fault, but the leg was good but not crazy. And yes, I'm still focused. I'm now focused on the World Championship, and it's good training for the world.
The best of luck in Palangkaraya. Enjoy the UCI World Cup.
Well, I think everybody is now focused with all eyes on that World Championships in Palangkaraya, Indonesia on the 15th of October. We will be looking forward to seeing the race action there, but these are the highlights from today.
Dues curses amb una estratègia totalment diferent.
So phenomenal racing today from Barcelona. It was the final round of the World Cup for 2023. Next up